Hello friends and welcome back for episode 37 of our Terraria 1.3 Let's Play. Hope you're all doing well today. Today's episode is going to be primarily consisted of spending money. Well, that and setting up a couple of other things that are going to have sort of long-term branching useful consequences for us to hopefully embetter our world and get more out of it. So why don't we start off by doing that, and I want to also deliver the news that I've got a bit of good news and a bit of bad news today. Just as in the way the world goes, not just in the Terraria Let's Play, but in life. So the good news, or do you want the bad news first? Maybe you want the bad news. Yeah, let's do that first. Today is the last day of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and that hits pretty hard for me because I've actually been following that show for like half of my life now, roughly. And, you know, I really like Jon Stewart, and it's going to be a huge deal for me to not have that going on anymore. So, you know, I guess I just wanted to sort of shout that out and say, hey, like, respect to you, Jon Stewart. I think you're a great guy, and it's fantastic that we got to hang out for all these years. I know probably quite a few people feel the same way. Anyway, and I don't want to belabor that point, and it's maybe a bit heavy to start off on, but let's spend some money and reforge our sword while we discuss this. I know I left off in a sort of an annoying place, as is marked by this prefix here. We're going to reforge that again. Oh my god. What is this business? I took a ton of money out of my other world, by the way, which is why I can afford to do this, although I can't really afford to do this. This is crazy expensive. 45 gold to get something that's not garbage is just awful. There we go, legendary. Okay, I can rest at peace now. It took, I don't know, 2-3 platinum or so. So that was one of the large expenditures that I wanted to throw down. The other one is, I want to go talk to the steampunker girl, who is in the top right corner. I want to buy a Clintaminator so we can create a hallowed desert. The Clintaminator costs 2 platinum, so goodbye, sober day. That was a bunch more of my money. I think I've spent about half of my money in this episode already. So we'll be able to buy a bunch of this green solution. We can make things into green grass and high tides if we want, just create normal forest world. Or if we move our steampunker lady into the proper housing facility, she will actually also be able to carry the hallowed dye, which is what I need to be able to move forward the world. Anyway, I said there was good news and bad news. I gave you the bad news. Well, I guess there's sort of a good news side to that too. Jon Stewart's moving on to do other things. Hopefully he'll show up in lots of other cool places in our lives. Yeah, to put a happy cap on that. The good news, rather, is Ethan, the guy I was talking about in yesterday's episode, has had his channel issues worked out. There was an official comment made by the Fullscreen CEO, and it turns out they corrected the issue, and hopefully that will be a close to all of the problems that he's been going through. So I'm very happy to report that, in a way, you know, things worked out. Unfortunately, it had to go down that road in the first place, but I guess bureaucracy just gets out of control sometimes, and that's what happened. But thankfully, a lot of YouTubers came to his aid. I know it was a JonTron and Boogie, to name just a couple, made some statements about Fullscreen. After this started making the rounds on Twitter and social media, the CEO, I guess, caught wind and made a statement, and then, you know, sought to fix it, thankfully. Also, I do want to apologize if I accidentally misinformed. I thought that the video explaining what had gone on had been taken down by Fullscreen because I saw there was a tweet from Ethan saying, like, hey, they're threatening to, like, start putting strikes on, or matches on all my videos now, so I don't know, maybe I have to do something about this. I'm paraphrasing quite a bit here. But after that, I went to his channel to look at the video, and it wasn't there, so I assumed that's what that meant. But I think in reality, all that happened was he's got a second channel for vlogs, and I think the video is up on that channel, so I got it wrong on that one. So, my bad. Sorry about that. Hopefully, that didn't really matter too much, but still, you know, I hate to get that kind of stuff wrong. Regardless, you know, the end-all be-all came out in a positive way. So let's get rid of these guys here, build a little house, and we can move our steampunker lady in, hopefully fairly quickly. I know it's been ages since I promised this, and I still do want to accomplish this. I will probably in future episodes fairly soon start building alternative housing for the NPCs. I would like to move us into a different realm here, get a new structure going. Now that we've got a lot of the materials I was after, I know the wooden house just doesn't really cut it these days. Oh, I forgot to bring walls with me. How am I this bad at this game, this late in the game? Just still astounds me, even now. I got the table and I got the chair. I did not get the walls. Also, please, leave me alone. It's so hard to just make a freaking house sometimes. I think I made the situation where there is no middle. That looks closer to the middle to me, but that's okay. We'll do that. We'll do that. And that. And that. And this. And hopefully, you know, this is one of those cases where the situation with the housing location is fairly close to where I started. Not a huge deal to go back, grab some stuff, come back again. I probably could have just made a crafting table there too if I wanted. I chose not to because it doesn't matter. So where did I put my walls? Walls are here. Wooden walls, that's it. Got 176 wood walls. I'm going to actually just take one out of the stack to put back. I think that should be enough to get the job done. And provided this is suitable housing, we should be okay from there. Also, I haven't called any attention to the fact that I have created some sort of crimson abomination of my character. This is sort of my last stand in protest against Crimson. I have become the Crimson that I hate, and then I will fight back against it. Also, I need to show you the mask from the golem from the last episode. I forgot to put that on. But we can do that next time we go back to the house. No big deal. I should carry around red torches with me also, just to further complicate matters. Again, it would be really sweet, actually, if the lights, when you dye them, would change color to match whatever dye color you made. I don't know what the limitations are or why that hasn't been done. It seems like kind of an obvious thing, actually, but maybe it's not that simple. I guess that would be another option, then create a cosmetic slot for light colors, but that seems like you're going a little too far at that point, doesn't it? Alright, so housing. There's our steampunker. Put her there. I don't know if there's a quick way to move her over. Maybe the queen statue, but I think then I'd have to, like, wire it up, right? So, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth bothering. Maybe I'll just wait it out. We can do some other stuff in the meantime. I'm sure there's plenty of other little tasks. The reason that I want to make a hallowed desert, by the way, if you're not familiar, is there are a few items that drop there specifically. One of them including, and this is not the reason specifically, but one of them includes the rainbow blocks, which spawn off of rainbow slimes. There's also some stuff that I need to make the Ankh shield. So hopefully that'll all work out pretty quickly. I would like to get that done in like the next 3 to 4 episodes, get the Ankh shield ready to go. So that might mean I need to go back to the dungeon again, do a little bit more farming there. I could also go with my Contaminator now that I have one and purify a little bit of the Crimson just to like push back the spread of it. I might do that. I might also not do that. I haven't decided yet. Also, Pearlwood, Shadewood, Borealwood, Rich Mahogany. Okay, I didn't know that I didn't have a spot for that. Good enough. So I'm going to need to make a spot now for Contaminator and Contaminator dyes. What would be a good place? Also, I'm amazed that my freaking crafted dyes box is like nearly full now. Never thought that would be a thing. As it turns out, 3 slots left. I like, too, that we've got this lovely rainbow gradient across the top of the chest here. I think this is all the traditional colors you can make, and then some of these form up to make, like, the blue flame dye, the cyan gradient dye, or the flame dye. I feel like, and maybe I'm misremembering here, but I feel like you were able to make 3 of these and then 3 of those or something like that, and then combine these into, like, a second level weird dye. Oh, you know what else I'm forgetting? The dye vendor actually sells, yep, this is it, silver dye and brown dye, which then combine with some of those other colors to augment them further. So yeah, I think we're going to need like multiple chests for all of this dyeing that we're doing. How about for our Contaminator and Contaminator Solutions? We'll put it in the extra slot for now. I left this open because I wasn't sure what I was going to need that would go in there. I guess it could also fit kind of nicely into Unique. Since this is all kind of biome manipulation stuff in the first place, maybe that is actually a better position for it. I know there's not going to be a lot of other stuff that goes in that chest. Well, I don't know that, but I feel like there's not going to be a ton of other stuff that goes in that chest. So we'll see. Actually, I could put it over here and then slot in the solutions for it right underneath, and that would be lovely. Okay, cool. That seems good. Somebody mentioned on the last episode they were like kind of upset that I had my potions and like some wood or something in my hotbar, that I could have been using these slots better. I don't know, that's sort of like unnecessary backseating, I think, in that case. The reason I had the potions there was so I could keep track of them in battle situations to see how many were left, so I didn't end up running out. And also, I just didn't have anything better to put in the slots at the moment. I mean, you might have seen that there were some other options that I could have put in, but I didn't want to. And it didn't really make a difference, not like I was in any danger or like it really mattered in any way, so I don't really know why stuff like that happens, where it's like, hey, you should be doing it this way, but it also doesn't matter at all if I don't do it that way, because it's just how I'm playing at the moment. Let's go down here for a second. We haven't really spent much of any time looking around in the underground desert biome. Well, we spent like a tiny amount of time, as evidenced by this prevalence of torches down here. But there are actually some things that show up in this area as well, and now that we've got really fast Actin Tenactin in the form of these claws, we should be able to dig through some desert fossils very quickly as well. There might be a reason why I want these too. I think there's some armor. I think there might be, well, maybe some other crafting materials that we can make from them. Perhaps even we could run it through our extractinator, perhaps? Is that how that works? Maybe we can pull some kind of useful thing out of it. I don't know. Doesn't hurt to have more materials. Rather have more materials than less materials. So let's do a little bit of digging about. So when it comes to housing, things that I want to do, number one, I want to make like an arboretum of some kind. I want to have like a little area for all the animals that I can find, that I can plant, well, not plant, but create little like cage situations, or like a zoo, I guess. And we could have on display a variety of strange plants and things that we run into. I guess not literally strange plants, that would be cool though. I want to also create an armor area to show off all of that, like a little museum. It could do armors on one side and statues on another. I think there's a lot of options there. I want to have a some sort of an art facility where we can display all of our varieties of paintings. I'll have to go back and collect a bunch more of those, because honestly I didn't really do my due diligence in this particular Let's Play. There's a lot more paintings than I have. I want to create, I guess, just sort of like creative looking structures, things that look a little bit different, and might show off some of the cool options that we have as far as crafting with regard to, like, you know, rainbow liquids, or creating like a fountain that does something strange. There's all kinds of weird options like that, and you guys can feel free to chime in with whatever you think would be cool, if you'd like. Oh, I also have to remember to make one of those mine carts today, because that's been driving everybody nuts that I don't have a slightly faster mine cart. Apparently it's just like iron and some stuff. I was thinking people wanted me to make the one that you get from like the endgame areas, but apparently that is not the case. So yeah, no harm done there. I guess we can make a slightly faster mine cart. Just like tiny little quality of life improvements go a long way over time, I suppose. I'm going to have to create new worlds fairly soon, or at least a new world, because I do want to chase down some more pyramids. I believe there are some other things that I might be able to find in that realm. What is this little silver thingamabob here? Oh, it's just some free money sitting on the ground, apparently. Also, I found a chest in the desert biome, and I shall check it out, because I don't know if these have some sort of special drops. I mean, I guess they probably don't, but no harm in looking. Okay, it's got an extractinator. It's got some iron bars. I wanted those. It's got a couple of torches. Who cares about those, really? But okay, well, there we go. Good enough. I will grab these statues as well, since I have very malleable inventory for the moment. I know that will not be the case soon, I'm sure, but for now. Still need to make that spider armor. I should probably do that soon, too. I worry when I start making too many plans. I need to stick to a couple per episode, otherwise I get distracted, start talking about some random thing, and then every single thing I talked about, I don't end up creating. So, right. Anyway, shouldn't be too overwhelming yet. We're just going to get a little bit more exploration done in this biome. Then we're going to go back, craft a minecart if we can figure out how. What else? See if maybe we can see if our lady has moved in, our steampunker lady, and then we can hopefully buy a whole bunch of hallowed dye, or solution rather, and then spray that all over some portion of the desert. And if that's like the one thing I get to accomplish, well, I would like to accomplish that. At least get an area of hallowed desert ready to go. There will be more episodes of farming the dungeon, I feel, because there are still a few drops I need from there. Obviously, we're going to get everything eventually, so I'm going to have to get it all. Whether or not I set it up so it all happens in an episode, or maybe I should do some of it in streams. That remains to be seen, and I mean, fishing is almost definitely going to happen in streams, or off-camera, I haven't decided which, but it's probably not going to happen in episodes. It's just, it's too long-form, it's too dry, and there's not enough going on. Like, I need to even go back and look for worms occasionally, which is like level 2 depth of being boring, because not only am I not even accomplishing anything at that point, really, I'm setting up to potentially not accomplish other things into the future. Oh, I really like how I light everybody on fire, and they light the way for me. That's really nice. I'm trusting there's somebody down here that's got some kind of drop for me. Seems like a highly likely scenario. Some gold, I guess. Sure, I love gold. Here's some more desert fossil. Looks like a big old chunk of it. Oh wow, this is actually a huge chunk of it. This is like where a stegosaurus fell into some hot tar. We're now digging up the fossil fuel. That would be a whole thing too. Imagine we started building a Terraria economy for fuel. And we'll have to like Terraria go green when we ruin the Terraria ecosystem and Terraria ozone layer. That would be some very odd parody, I imagine. We start recreating these very human problems in this very surreal fantasy land, and then maybe we could bring a little bit of light to some of our perils in a non-confrontational nature. What's going on with this chest? I want to believe that there's going to be something cool down here that is maybe not beneficial to us for finding it now, but at least could be kind of unique. I mean, this worm is pretty not beneficial to us, but unique. Shine potion emits an aura of light. I don't think I have very many of those, so may as well. I've got plenty of bombs, and really don't need any magic mirrors, so I guess I'm good there. May as well grab this. It'd be sweet if at the end of the game you could get a pickaxe that has the speed of the Shroomite digging claw, but can also, like, dig up demon altars and, you know, do axe stuff, like break through trees and such. Wow, these massive worms. Thankfully, they're not super dangerous to me these days. Oh, look, a statue. Fairly cool-looking statue with that. Oh, big ol' opening over here. What do we have? Lots more of this stuff. Alright, we'll grab that in a sec. Oh my god, there's so much! It's everywhere! I guess we've gotten of the right depth that all of a sudden this stuff becomes easy to find. I wonder if there's actually like a proper biome progression now that includes this stuff, considering... Well, I see there's a lot of iron in these parts, so this would probably be a fairly easy way to get to it. Got a lot of open surface area that we might be able to use. I don't have a lot of flares, but I do have a flare gun. Excuse me? I don't know who that was beating me up there. This is a worm. So this is the episode where we go back in time and start mining from biomes that we really have no use for. Okay, I feel like these worms are just getting larger here. How much do I have anyway for this desert fossil? 715, that's actually a lot. I guess when it comes in chunks this big, you don't really have to worry too much about finding it. Very quickly will you all of a sudden have a full stack. Scorpions are creepy. There must be some kind of drop from this, right? From all of these enemies. Like, there's too many enemies that I'd not seen anywhere else for there not to be any kind of drops. I do believe they want you to be down here for a reason other than just that armor. I want to say thank you also to the person who enlightened me about the strange plant slash flower boots scenario, that apparently it can be done, but here's the crux. You need to land on 2 tiles at the same time because, and this makes a lot of sense now that I thought about it, the strange plants actually do take up 2 tiles when you encounter them in nature, and all of the plants that you leave behind you with the flower boots are 1 tile in size. So that would make a lot of sense, that's why I had not seen any spawn. How on earth you're supposed to create a farm that does that? Well, I've got to figure that out, I guess, if I do want to bother. I'm not entirely sure, but I would kind of like to figure it out. It would be great to have full command over strange plants. You know, just stop letting the man keep me down. Make what I want when I want. Can't tell me what to do, Mom. Yeah, that kind of thing. A lot of worms under the desert here. It'd be great if they made like a shout out to Kevin Bacon somewhere in this. Alright, I'll take these, sure. I'm just kind of filling up inventory now just because I feel like we're probably going to go back in a second. And it looks like we've crossed through to some crimson, which is basically what always happens in this world. Lots of crimson. Lots and lots of crimson. We'll do something about that fairly soon. Oh, look, another chest. Yeah. And more Hermes boots. I wish I had found some of these earlier. So maybe this is a place you want to head if you're, like, still pretty early game. With the opportunity to find all this iron, Hermes boots, and potentially make... Oh, well, actually, you can't mine the fossils at the early game, so maybe that's not actually true. Also, I don't even know if the fossils are there at the beginning. Maybe they unlock when you get to hard mode? Not sure. Also, how does this sword compare now? This is 151 melee damage. That 0 of the desert fossil was, like, messing my head up. It looked like it said 1,510. Yeah, so 151 versus 143. It is actually more powerful now than my hammer, which is sweet. Alright, thank you, Cobwebs. I get the point. Invisibility. Spelunker potions I could always use. Get rid of a couple of things here that I'm not going to need. There's this tin ore. Really don't need that. I will take all these statues with me, though. Especially this heart statue. Especially that. Alright, there we go. There are a lot of freaking statues in this building. What is that, 5? I get the point. Thank you, Cobwebs. I would like some sort of equipable, maybe part of my armor, some kind of augmentation that makes it so cobwebs in like a close proximity to you immediately just break without having to touch them or beat them up with your sword. I know that sounds super unnecessary, but... Well, you know what? I guess there's actually ways you can kind of create that situation, given there are certain armor bonuses that have, like, you know, passive damage that's going on. My current armor, the beetle armor, does not have passive damage, but it does have passive defense, which is nice. Wait, did I really just find another? Wow. There are so many freaking areas under here. I don't really want these mushrooms, don't really need these bombs. I would definitely like a slime statue, because if I make this desert... Oh, here's a thing I actually kind of needed, a band of regeneration. I don't know that I even have that at all. Right, so I want to make, in the desert biome, a bunch of slime statues, and that might spurn on the creation of rainbow slimes, which I absolutely would love to harvest tons and tons of. Just if only because I can use them to create all kinds of silly rainbow blocks. I don't know, maybe I'll make a rainbow house, like I said earlier. I want to go full-on rainbow tilt. Get a rainbow house with a rainbow character, and rainbow hair, and rainbow armor, and rainbow dyes, and you get the idea. We've already been over this in prior episodes. Alright, so we've come back up the other end. I feel like we've maybe not thoroughly explored this underground desert, but I feel like we've gotten mostly everything we're probably going to run into down here that's worth running into. I mean, we haven't found any drops, though, which is the one thing that I'm most interested in. I feel like it would be very odd for there not to be anything. I mean, given how many enemies I've fought, too. Also, it makes me wonder if there's, like, a, I don't know, blood moon contingency plan, that, like, I need to have something in effect before I can get to the enemy that I need to fight to get a drop from here, because this game is all about creating the multi-level dynamic confusion perception issues. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. They have layers. They're like an ogre, like an onion ogre. Do I need amethyst right now, or is this... Yeah, probably not. I guess I'll take the amethyst over fallen stars, because I have too many fallen stars and not enough amethyst. Sounds like an album title. Too many fallen stars, not enough amethyst. A Steven Universe album. That'll probably be a thing soon enough. Everybody's flipping out over that show. It's only a matter of time before it invades every type of pop culture. There's already, like, some music around it, right? It has a fantastic opening title theme. By the way, I do get some of the hype around that show. It's not like I'm completely foreign to the concept. I have watched, like, mostly all of the first season, probably about 40 episodes or something. Well, the episodes are so freaking short. They're like, what, 10 minutes long? I guess I'm kind of getting used to that now from coming from Adventure Time, where they would throw these episodes in, like, in between other shows on Cartoon Network, and, you know, outside of that format, and I know they didn't always show that. Oftentimes they would do 2 episodes back-to-back, and that was the half-an-hour block. But, it's just weird to think that that's sort of become, like, the norm for a lot of shows now, to have such short episodes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think it has to slightly cut back a little bit on the potential for narrative and exposition, because, like, if you only have a tiny amount of time, how much can you really get done to tell a story? I mean, granted, it doesn't seem like it's cut anything back from them, but it just, you have to wonder a little bit. Alright, I will take another out in a bottle in case there's crafting potential for it, although I feel like I'm gonna regret that decision, but flares? Who cares about flares? We got a king statue and a mushroom statue down here. I would like these as well. Freaking statue city in the underground desert. I don't know, is this always the case? Report back for me, guys. Do you guys always run into a ton of statues in the underground desert, or is that just the situation that I presently find myself in? Recall, potion, danger sense, night owl. Every time I do this and then don't take anything, somebody in the comments is always like, why don't you just use the potions? And then I have to explain again in the comments to like 5 different people, because it takes more effort for me to use them than to just disregard, because I have the auto pause set up, so when I hit pause, I can't use things by just dragging them out like that. It just doesn't work. If I turn off auto pause, I can do that, but I haven't done that. So that's the explanation again for those that missed it the other 300,000 times I've said it. Let's do this and that and the other thing. Grab up a couple more statues, and I think we'll teleport back to the house, because now we're mostly full of statues at this point. And I would like to drop these off. I would also be curious to see if our steampunker lady has moved yet. I don't see her here, and I think moving takes place at the beginning of a new day, so chances are we're probably good. Let's do a quick stack. See what we have left. It looks like the star statue didn't make it. Now, is that because we filled up our statue place? No, it's not. It's just because I don't think we have one yet. Also, if anybody sees a double here, let me know, because I don't think they'll quick stack if there's 2 in the same chest that are the same one. Like, I have to take that one out before it'll find its pair, if that makes sense. So, what I need to do is arrange these again in order of pedestal or, like, genre of statues, so I can more quickly identify when there's a double. Because right now, I have to do this little freaking Go Fish match game in my head, looking for one and then finding its match. It's just not feasible. Anyway, I left it open for quite a while, so probably somebody will see it if there was a double. It's great to be able to crowdsource these little menial tasks like that. Alright, so we put a bunch of iron away. Let's make that minecart, because we can, if we can. By going to this area. Iron bars are full. We got 381 of ore. Do we have any in our overflow bars? Yes, we got 37. Oh, that might be enough right there. Let's see if there is a minecart. Yes, that's the one. Minecart, equipable. So right now, you will see I have 0 minecart. Now, with some wood and some any iron bar. Why does it say any iron bar? What does that mean? They all say that? I didn't think that... Maybe... Was this in a patch? I was pretty sure they just said iron bar before. Alright, whatever. Minecart equipped. Not really a huge deal or anything. And we'll go ahead and put some kind of dye on that, I guess, because it's got a slot for it. I've kind of run out of cool reddish-looking dyes. I guess I could put the flame dye or just a straight-up red dye on it and see what that looks like. Probably not that great. Oh, and while I'm here, before I forget, let's also put on our golem mask just to give that a look. It's quite creepy, actually. Looks like staring at you from far away, eerily in the night. I found my way over to, just by random chance, one of these... It was like a horror site. Oh, why did I put this freaking in the way of the minecart? That's really dumb. Get rid of that. Yeah, so there was this, apparently a story in New Zealand, and we're just going to check for strange plants up here since we can very quickly. There's one. There was this couple of, like, people in masks that were, like, hanging out, staring at people. And, like, how eerie is that? There was actually footage of them, so it wasn't just like somebody made this up, although I guess it could have been staged for publicity, but I guess there were multiple sightings of like these two people that were just standing around in fields with masks on, looking at people that would get around them, and the reason it came to light was because a couple of film students happened to be in this one area and had their cameras around when they caught a glimpse of them, and it looked like one of them, of the two, was holding a weapon as well, but you couldn't really tell, it was a little bit blurry. So, like, people with masks and guns just hanging out in the woods near fields. What's up with that? Did they accidentally get too close to some kind of criminal thing, or is it just a couple of teenagers trying to scare people? Like, why would anybody go through the trouble? It's so weird. One of the many mysteries of life that may not be solved. Okay, so that's that. We've got a strange plant. Let's go back home. We've got our minecart built. The dye didn't really look like much of anything, but hopefully we'll get another cool reddish-looking dye from the set that we'll get here when we open them in a few minutes. Put those away. I do want to check out these desert fossils. Before we do it, though, I just want to try... Can I extract any? I can, and I get ore and stuff from them. Okay. So I can just hold down the button, and we'll get some sturdy fossils, which are, I believe, what we need to do to get to that armor I was talking about. I'm just going to go through this whole pile here, because I've got a whole nother stack of $9.99. I don't know how many sturdy fossils I need, but we are making some money off of this, as well as a whole variety of different ore bits. This is the same stuff that happens if you do silt as well. You'll get a kind of a similar situation, although I feel like it goes a little faster. Look, we got a taco. It's amber, I know. So we want to grab this, go over here, just wanted to check. Oh, desert fossil is not placeable, or it cannot be placed. Where is the sturdy fossil? Well, this is a material, what's this do? We can amber staff, we can make crate potions, we can make orange torches, and an amber gem spark block. Cool. There's our sturdy fossils, let's see what these say. Yep, so there is the amber staff as well from that. Oh, it requires a little of each. Bone throwing knife, bone javelin, fossil helmet is 20, huh? 20, 30, 25. So you can actually make that, but it's going to take quite a bit. Thankfully, we've got a lot, so might as well just blow through them. I don't see a reason to hold on to this stuff. I mean, the sturdy fossils will at least be useful, whereas this stuff doesn't really do anything. And we might even run into, I think, a rare pet can spawn. I would guess, based on how quickly they're dropping, there's a pretty high chance that we would have enough to make that armor if we deem that necessary. And we will make it, of course, just not necessarily during this episode. Might actually take a little while for us to cut through all this stuff. We're going to be good on gems for a bit, though. 29 fossils, 1 gold. I wonder what my odds are of getting, it's the amber mosquito or something, right? I'm hoping that can drop from both this or also the silt. I know it drops from the silt because that's where I got it on my other playthrough. I'm told it is very rare. But I would like to grab all of the pets over time if possible. Also got to keep an eye on the moon phase. It looks like we're not anywhere near a full moon right now. But in case we do run into one, gotta make sure I farm those werewolves so I can get the bit that I need to try and combine to make that second level celestial stone part. I guess screw going other worlds, huh? We can just get all of the platinum and stuff we need from mining fossils. Again, it would be quite hilarious if they're just like, here's a container of gasoline or something, or here's some petroleum. And then you gotta use that to power your gas-powered minecart that you just built. That'd be a whole thing. Man, look at it go. Cascading up into the sky. If I hit escape on this... Wait, there is no escape right now. Usually I'm reforging stuff, and then when you hit escape, it gives you this list a mile long of all the different weapons that you picked up and then lost when you reforged them. In this case, they're just rising into the sky, regardless. Alright, 250 more. There goes 70 sturdy fossils. So we have passed the point of no return when it comes to that armor. Starting to see those numbers creep up on the varieties of different ore, although not very high, but I am seeing them creep up nonetheless. Is that... that's not total, that's just how many I've gotten in like a combo, I think. Almost done. 30, 20, and GG. Alright. So that was actually remarkably tidy in my inventory. I figured there'd be a lot more going on there. So that could be a thing we're going to need to farm, because I didn't actually end up getting the pet that I was talking about, if I can get it. We did get a bunch of gold, though, so that's good. And it's nice and easy to put that stuff away, so I can't be too upset about it. Let's go ahead and build that armor, since it's right in front of me now. Boop. It's kind of cool looking, too. Looks like a Cubone or something. Put that on as my cosmetic and just see what that looks like. And yes, I have a very strange combination right now. Golem Mask, Rune Robe, Bee Pants. Oh yeah. Look at some kind of like bony armadillo creature from prehistory. Interesting. Also kind of like how the giant wings have the grim dye on them, and it just kind of makes them smoke with evil. Alright. I'll be honest, I think I like the look I had before of the flesh-covered abomination. But it's good, either way. Anyway, what else was I gonna do? So we've got the armor set, we've got this Band of Regeneration. What did I need with that? Pretty sure this was like a linchpin to some other element. Create a Charm of Myths, Mana Regeneration Band. Alright, I think I'm missing the other side of that, the Band of Star Power, then. Looks like I probably can't do anything with it right now. Probably one of those goes into a second level beyond what I could see there, so I'll just toss this in with these for now. Oh, never mind. I've got two of them. I'm an idiot. I just didn't ever look into it, so I could actually sell one of them instead. Or, instead of selling it, since I've got extra, why not just create the thing it just said I could? Because what's the harm in that? There we go. Now I've got a Charm of Myths. And this is not a material, so actually I can't. Provides life regeneration, reduces the cooldown of healing potions. Cool. Does the color of the text, meaning that it's green, also, does that inform me as to whether or not it's a material? Not entirely sure. I'll have to look into the accessory guide on the wiki or the Gamepedia and see if there's more good combinations I can make out of what I have now. I'm sure you guys have been telling me furiously this whole time in the comments, so I appreciate it, but I'll have to look into it. Well, and of course I'll read your comments too. Oh, here's a weird one. Did you guys know, as of just recently, YouTube has sort of revised how their algorithms work, and it looks like there is no more 301 plus views processing period anymore, which is actually great. It means that you're able to track your views closer to live time. Granted, it's still not perfect or anything, but the 301 plus thing would go on for like 3 hours and then eventually would update and you'd have 1,000-something views. They did that so they could weed out botted views and views that didn't count toward anything. Now I guess they've just figured it out. As the unfortunate sub-result of that, though, and this always happens with any update on YouTube, and we're just going to open our strange plants now. It turns out for the moment it's not updating comments on my comment notification. I pride myself on reading every comment that gets sent in to me. I can't really do it properly right now, so I'll try my best, but I can't promise anything. If there's a comment on not my newest bunch of videos, like, there's a good chance I might not see it for the moment, so just keep that in mind. Not saying no comment or anything, just like, if I miss it, I didn't do it on purpose. So we got Twilight Dye. I think, actually, you know what we'll do? Just to kind of eliminate having to figure this out. Yep, quick stack, all of them go in. That's the end of that story. Last thing we want to do on this episode, usually I save the strange plants for last, but then I just remembered I did it in a weird order. let's take this again. It looks like Our Lady had moved over to the hallowed biome, so we're gonna go over there, see what's up, and hopefully we'll be able to buy the solution, and at least we can contaminate a bit of desert before we call it a day. And then I'll feel like for next episode we've got something ready to go, and it should be good. I was looking back through the progress and stuff of this Let's Play versus the old one. I must say, I went through this like so much faster. The only difference being, and I guess this is kind of a substantial difference, but I did do a lot more longer episodes on this Let's Play versus the last one. There we go. Hello. Do you have the dye I'm looking for? Yes, you do. The blue solution. How much is this? I didn't even look. 25 silver? Well, it's worth it. We're gonna need a bunch. Also, if she ever moves away from here, I might not be able to buy this again without doing a bunch of stuff. I also wanted to buy these steampunk wings, but like everything's so freaking expensive, and I've run through all of my savings already. There's so many weird items. I'm buying them. I don't care. Life's short, play hard. I don't think I bought a jetpack yet either, and I think that combines with something else. It says equipable, so actually, never mind, it doesn't. That's another 40 gold. You know what? Screw it. YOLO. I don't know what a flesh cloning vat is. It's 10 gold. I just bought it. Steampunk boiler used for special crafting. Oh, look, I bought that too. A Blend-O-Matic? Who cares? Bought that. All of these items I didn't have. And I'm not buying any cogs. I don't need those right now. This is not Gears of War, I'm sorry. So where do I want to put our desert? My vote is that we put it next to the dungeon, because there's actually a bit of an expanse there. It would actually be pretty useful for catching those slimes, because that's also where I farmed out one of the meteorite bits, so I think that's where I want to go. Now, will I be able to reach my rail track? Yes, yes I will. Let us move with haste. So apparently we're gonna fly a little faster on this now. Toss one of those so you can see the trajectory. Oh yeah, it just goes immediately behind me. Let's look at our map. We can actually follow our progress as we go. Yeah, it doesn't take that long. And most likely there's an even faster minecart out there that we can grab soon enough. So we're gonna stop around here. And I wonder what happens if I throw Contaminator stuff onto the dungeon by accident. Will that matter? Alright, this is good. Point taken. Let's grab this. Swap that out with this. And it looks like it's already loaded with the correct solution because it's the only one that I have. And we'll start at the beginning here so that way we can hopefully at least push it back in the right direction. There we go. Imagine if this didn't go through tiles, what a freaking pain in the butt that would be. Also, it just looks great. As it transforms everything, it's like, it's pretty cool seeing that happen dynamically like that. There we go. Biome has been mostly transformed. I would like to hit down here a little bit better. Right, and now we should begin to see the light hallowed mummies. Right? Light mummy, yes, that's what it says. And these are the ones that can drop the other piece that I need to create the Tao of Cow, I believe it is, as well as I think they drop... which one are they? Is it the megaphone and the folded map? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I looked at the wiki for this information, but this is actually a nice little spot that I can farm. And these guys will keep building up against this wall. I'll eventually put a slime statue around here too, and then we can see if we can get a bunch of rainbow slimes together. Maybe I could put a trap down there, and then occasionally just come and visit and be like, hey, look, there's a ton of rainbow blocks here just sitting waiting for me. Because I'm not always going to be here, ready to go. If I'm feeling particularly cheeky, I could actually just push into this crimson a little ways, because honestly, we really don't need this much crimson, and we could use a little bit more hallowed. So, for that very fact... Oh, we got a light shard. Fantastic. You know what? I will actually do that. There's plenty of freaking crimson on the other side. Let this be a little bit of hallowed for now. And it'll also stop it from immediately eating back into the desert for a while, so... There you go, this is the first time that I've done any kind of terrain transformation on this series. On this particular Let's Play series, not in all of my Terraria experience. I have done this before in that. Now we've got this bizarre hollowed structure that looks like Crimson. How silly. Cool, so I guess that's kind of what I needed to do for now. I'll go ahead and sort through everything, and we'll see what the best next course of action is. I'm thinking perhaps a little bit more dungeon farming, or whatever I need to get the Ankh Shield put together. People have told me to do the lunar events, not the lunar events, the alien invasion event. I definitely want to do that too. Just not sure if I should do it now or wait a little longer. Also, just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna like... Okay, it doesn't do anything. Also, it fires several times whenever I hit the button for it, so that's good to know as well. It's not just one charge each time. Like, one bit of solution for that does go a ways. And I should collect the other types of solution as well, because actually, if I have another world, I can go ahead and move the steampunk lady into a corruption zone, and then use that to be able to buy the purple solution. Then I'd be able to make corruption in this world, and have both, I guess. If it works that... I'm pretty sure it works that way, right? There's no exclusivity contract on one or the other. You can have both, provided you just have the way to make it. Does that mean I can then summon an Eater of Worlds into this world as well? I don't know. These things are up in the air for me. I don't know yet. Anyway, I think that's going to be pretty much it for today's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A little bit of news, spent a lot of money, got some stuff done. Got a legendary Terrablade, which is not the best one, right? Isn't there still... I don't remember for swords. It's always Godly is the one I look for, but I think that's just for... I don't know, what is it? Is it melee or is it magic? No, who cares? I don't know. I'll have to look back at the wiki. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you leave a like on it. As always, I'm very glad to have you here. Make sure you leave a comment as well if you have anything to say or want to direct my attention towards something. I will do my best to try and read them all. For newer videos, that will not be a problem because I check on them anyway. But anyway, that's it for today. See you all next time.